Good morning. It's Friday, October 4th. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of WEX Wake Up. I'm Natasha Sweet. Former President Donald Trump accused Vice President Kamala Harris of being unprepared for Hurricane Helene.
This is the worst response in the history of hurricanes. A certain president, I will not name him, destroyed his reputation with Katrina. And this is doing even worse. She's doing worse than he did.
More than 200 people have died since the Category 4 storm barreled across the southeastern U.S. last week. President Joe Biden approved disaster declarations in the hours and days after the storm made landfall. But election season has injected heightened scrutiny and political attacks into the federal response. In 2005, Bush faced fierce Democratic criticism over his handling of Katrina.
They're dying all over those 5-6 states. They're dying, and they're getting no help from our federal government because they have no money.
Senator J.D. Vance visited a site damaged by Hurricane Helene in southwest Virginia.
People are proud of Appalachian values. They're resilient, they're strong, they love their neighbors, and they're going to rebuild this community, I believe, better than what it was before.
The Republican vice presidential candidate appeared alongside Governor Glenn Youngkin, speaking with residents and calling for more help for the area.
And most importantly, I'm just rooting for the people of this region, not just here in Virginia, but of course all across the country, in North Carolina, in Tennessee, in Georgia, in Florida, who were affected by this terrible storm.
Youngkin thanked the Ohio Republican for his visit and his help. Hurricane Helene was the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. in years, killing more than 200. The storm reached further inland than expected, wiping out communities hundreds of miles from the Atlantic Ocean. Election officials in the battleground state of North Carolina are optimistic the damage left behind from Hurricane Helene will not affect the state's election process, although they admitted there's no way to know for sure. North Carolina State Board of Elections spokesman Patrick Gannon said the state was not aware of damage to ballots the state had sent to absentee voters. While it's possible some ballots were in the mail at the post office or a residential mailbox were damaged or washed away in flooding, there is no way to know exactly how many may have been affected. The Elections Division of the Georgia Secretary of State's official office said all election-related equipment and documents were safe. If a voter believes his or her ballot was lost or compromised in transit, they should contact the County Board of Elections. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday morning. For more stories, be sure to head on over to our website and give us a follow on social media so you can stay in the know and all that's trending in politics. Have a wonderful weekend.